Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another At Home with Craig. Had to think of the title there for a second. Where this one, we're going to be looking at something brand new that we are launching today. Myself and Ben are going to be launching it on Crafters Companion's website. Also forgot the website there for a moment. Let's just have a look. Is it on yet? I don't think it'll be on yet. I was kind of hoping it was going to be on, but no. Not yet. So it is launching today. I know myself and Ben gave you a look on Tuesday. Gave you a look on Tuesday when it came to launch party as to what it all consists of. I know you've seen some teasers across on Facebook as well. I think it's been on Instagram and TikTok as well. I think I've definitely seen it on Instagram and also seen it on TikTok as well. Yeah, brand new, beautiful collection, absolutely gorgeous collection. We'll hang fire just for a couple of moments to actually flick through it, because I'm on the launch today, and that pre-look launch on Wake Up Call, it means I've got all the boards and I've got all the samples, and I've even remembered to bring all my demos as well. So I've got all of my demos that I'm going to show. Well, I've got the demos that I've got planned. Whether I get round to doing them all, I would have thought Wake Up Call. I'm saying, forgive me if I'm saying launch day. It's pick of the week. It's a pick of the week of a launched item, which we are, as I say, going to be looking at. I'm just switching off my auto lock. So I've got Rachel giving me a helping hand with comments this morning. If I don't turn off the auto lock, it keeps having to go into the password, which is frustrating when you're live. So just turning that one off. A few of you are already starting to pop on, so we're still going to hang fire for a moment or two. But yeah, the launch of the gorgeous vintage Carnival. It really is beautiful. If you've not seen it yet, you're in for an absolute treat. It's all about that kind of nostalgic Carnival look, that Carnival feel, that Carnival colour, as well as the old ticker tape. You've got all the old little tickets and that as well. You've got the popcorn template as well to create the popcorn boxes. You've got the hilt skirtler, the hot air balloon, the big top. Just, it really is absolutely epic. So as I say, I have managed to bring the samples home with me. So I've remembered the samples, I've remembered the boards, and I've remembered my demos. Now I need to actually remember to take them back. Otherwise, that's going to be an interesting show. But yeah, I've got little notes in my kitchen, my work bag at the front door, and there's even one in my car as well, just saying collection, to remind me to actually take the collection back with me. So when it comes to the collection, it is the Vintage Carnival. Debbie Murphy is in. I've kind of just gone into Vintage Carnival straight into comments there. Straight in. Debbie Murphy saying hello, hi there. Well, hi to you too, Debbie. Little Bear is saying good morning, Craig. What a nice surprise to see you this morning. Yeah, so I know not everyone's able to watch the shows and what have you. Did let you know yesterday that we'd be live this morning, and then if you see my Instagram story yesterday, you'll have seen that I also gave you the heads up that we're going to be live this morning just for an hour, giving you a little look, little preview if you've not seen any of this collection yet that's launching today. Sharon's in saying good morning everyone, happy Friday. I know it's the weekend. I'm actually off this weekend. I'm actually off because I had Hobby Maker last weekend. I was CTV the weekend before. I think it was Hobby Maker the Saturday before or the Sunday before. Something like that anyway. So yeah, off this weekend. I am going to try and actually take it off. I'm actually going to try and do a tutorial. Not done one for across on my Crafters Companion YouTube for a wee while because it's been a very busy couple of weeks. It's the only reason that I've not had any time to do one. But that is my plan. Other than that, just chill and relax. I should do a little bit of housework, but we'll try and get a bit of crafting done. Carnival Sorrel, good morning. Good early morning to you in Kentucky. I had to set my alarm up for 4 AM to watch. Bless you. That's so kind. Whether you're watching in the UK, that's 6 minutes past 9. I've just realised I've still... Do you know what? We're live. We're live. Let's change the clock. It's been, what, a couple of weeks now since the clocks went forward? Let's do it. There we go. Goes to show that we are 100% completely live in the UK and across the globe. There we go. There we are. There we are. Can now look at the right time. But we'll then get the popcorn right while... Oh, Debbie Robinson messaged me last night. I didn't even notice. Oh, I feel bad. I need to reply to her after. Right, while we are live, Ben Mosby, will you remember the popcorn? I'm currently live on our social channels and we are wondering. Lol. Well, I've got my my Ninja slushy machine. It's all packed at the front door. The Iron Brew, it's all there. So we're definitely going to have a carnival day, that's for sure. Brent's bringing in some magic, so yes, that's going to be fun. Debbie Murphy, I haven't seen this collection yet. Can't wait though, 3 AM here. Right, we're going to dive right in. We've got lots of you watching, or certainly lots of you commenting, which is lovely. So, Vintage Carnival collection. I'm going to bring in the paper pad to start with, because the paper pad is simply gorgeous. It really, really is gorgeous when it comes to the papers that you've got. It gives you an indication straight away of what to expect when it comes to the style, the look and the colours. 24 sheets. Now they are double-sided, they are 180 GSM. You've got 12 designs and then you've got 2 of each. So let's step you through. I mean, look, that's just, it's as if you're in the centre ring of the circus, you're lying on your back on all that sawdust and you're looking up to the point of the centre of the big top circus. That's what I just think. Same on the opposite side, but you've got more of those kind of neutral, natural tones in there, those sepia tones on that opposite side here. Then going into kind of like that diamond checker that you've got as well. So you can imagine that being the trousers of the clowns as well. Turning that one over, you've got that smaller design when it comes to the mint and the teal and the greens. You've then got your strips. It's as if the, you know, the men, the women, they get shot out the cannon. Gives you that sort of feel, that the way that the cannon's been designed. And then the opposite side, you've got those strips. You've got the polka dots in there as well. So every one of these designs, you can really start to think back, age dependent of course, as to that nostalgic feel. I'm going to say, I think it's maybe got a little bit more of a vintage American circus look to it. When I think back, certainly when I think back to the circus of my time, so 35 years ago, there was a lot of this design. However, there were a lot of brighter, bolder colours. But the vintage look that you've got in here, I mean, this could be, you know, like the streamers that are just all the way around, leading up to the big top. Then, of course, you've got your strips on the back there. You've then got your, I mean, that one giving you the diamonds with the circles as well. Then you've got your chevrons on the opposite side. It's lovely, Debbie, isn't it? Debbie Murphy on Facebook saying, love the double-sided. I mean, then you've got that one with the blues, and you've got the lilacs with the greens on the opposite side. Really fun one, quirky one. Also reminds me of, for some reason, you know, your holiday water parks with the big donuts that you sit in, and then you end up going round and round and round and round and round and round. Or at the fun of the fair, where you would put a little penny or 2 pence and then you'd let go and the penny would go round and round and round and round and round. That's what that one reminds me of. So you've got that one, and then you've got your red strips on that opposite side. Then you've got your star strips on that opposite side. You've then got them actually in a different way there. You've got bolder borders there, chop them up, do them as borders, do them as your ribbon strips if you want to. Then that one, very, very, that one actually is very shot out a cannon. That one, can just picture that one when it comes to the old outfits that they would wear. Again on the opposite side, double-sided there, and then you've got your stars as well, where you've then got your smaller little detailed stars. So that is your 12 by 12 paper pad, 24 sheets, double-sided, 180 GSM, 12 designs, 2 of each. You have got your smaller 6x6 paper pad. So you've got your small 6x6, exactly the same, 24 sheets, double-sided, 180, 12 designs, 2 of each. But these ones are on a smaller scale, so you're not losing any of that detail. The attention to detail within each of these papers are exquisite. Keep an eye on our website .co.uk.com or .eu, because certainly over the next probably couple of hours, even just a little bit less than that, that this whole collection will go live. Do keep in mind though, when we go live on Wake Up Call, we may have options. I honestly cannot remember if we've got what bundles that we've got. So stay tuned to the live show with Wake Up Call where Ben will go over the options. I'm not sure if there's like bonus buys or if it's part of a showstopper. That I'm not sure of. I've left that to Ben to deal with, and then I'll deal with the actual products and demos. But with this one, your linen card, you've got your 8 colours in total. You can see within the 8 colours, you're going to get 3 of each. So these ones, no matter what image, what pattern paper you put this against, this is going to work. Very, very vintage, very primary, but within the vintage tones. So this is going to work, as many of our linen cardstock will, for a variety of different colours. This is going to be great for men's as well, all throughout your male collection. If you want that brightness, but you're not wanting too, or you want the primary colour look for your male cards, but you don't want the brightness to it, that one is a really good one. But that one being your linen cardstock, I'm missing a colour there we go, but that lilac as well in there. So A4 in size with the linen cardstock, 8 sheets, 3 of each, and then as always 250 GSM. That great with every single paper. So let's kind of fan that one out again, if I work that in. So no matter what paper you put that against, it's going to work. Every colour is going to work, whether you've got your darker designs, whether you've got your lighter designs, whether you go in with your circles and your stars, whether you go in with your strips. Doesn't matter whether this one's giving you your mint and your lilac, but your yellow would work with that, your red would work with that, your blue would work with that. Every single colour of the 8 colours are going to work. So that one being the linen cardstock. So if you go for whatever the main big bundle would be, it's going to consist of all of it, and that is your linen card. As I said a moment ago, you do also have your 6x6 paper pad as well. Then what you're also going to be getting is the popcorn treat box. Now this is a stencil and a die. Now when it comes to this one, this is the template, that is the die for you to then create that. Now this is going to be one of my demos within the shows today, within that pick of the week show, which is featuring. So the pick of the week show is in the launch day position. So I've just renamed it. You can see you've got your little popcorn, so you can then of course colour the centre if you want. So your actual template will create that popcorn box. If Ben remembers to bring the popcorn, has he replied? So he's read it, but he's not replied. So at least we've tried, we've reminded him. And then yes, so you've got your die at the top there, that's then going to then die cut those scalloped edges at the top. So cool is that one. So you're going to get that one. Then what you're also going to be getting is your Carnival alphabet. These are so cool when it comes to the fonts. The fonts really are smart, that you can see there, the A to the Z, but you've got them in that vintage vintage and oh I never seen, but Rachel's just gone in. Rachel's just said, Craig, he's commented on Facebook, look up. And I missed that. I missed scrolling up there. Ben Mosby on Facebook. Popcorn and magic tricks will be ready for the show. Never fear. And you'd think I'd forget, Craig. Did I think you'd forget, Ben? Never. Well, Ben, the slushy machine and all that is already at the door. It's all ready to come in. So we're going to have a good carnival day, that's for sure. Do we... Actually, I'm trying to think. Friday. I think most people at head office will be working from home. So we'll get it all to ourselves. Love it. Love it. So yeah, so we've got our really, really funky, cool alphabet dies. So you've got 26 of them, giving you, of course, that full alphabet. What we're also then going to give you is our ticket fun. So this one giving you 26 stamps, but also your dies, because that is what you're going to be getting. Now let me just scroll in a little bit more. So these are going to work either as standalone on your projects, or they're going to fit within these little tickets, which are so cool. I just love them. They are so, so fab. You've got things such as Fair Magic ticket, Admit One. Got them in different fonts in there as well, which will work within the sizing of your tickets here. You got your sentiments that would work in there, or use them as standalone. Have a wheelie great time. Life is a carousel, enjoy the ride. Living for the thrills. Spinning into smiles and laughter. What does that say? Step right up and join the fun. Cotton candy wishes and carnival dreams. I used to have a candy floss machine. God, if I still had that, I would have brought that in. All the fun at the fair, fun-filled fair days, you're my ride or die, birthday celebrations, and then fair lights, bright nights, eat, ride, repeat. Magic is in the air. All of these really smart, different sentiments that you've got that will work as standalone, or they will work in conjunction with the dies themselves. Then what we've also got is the Ferris wheel. Now the Ferris wheel is a 7 die piece, and that's what you're going to be getting. So very few components. There are a small little diddy dies within this one here, but the whole construction of the Ferris wheel is that it's really quite simple to assemble. It's not all in tiny, tiny little individual bits. You've got the main bits here, you've got the worker, you've got the Ferris wheel, and then you've got the little dies to create the little carts that go all the way around. As I said, I do have the samples for the show, so we'll show you them just in a moment. What you've then also got is your big top. So it's a 10-piece die set. Within that one, what you've got is you've got the big top. So you've got your mat and layer for it, or you just use it as the aperture if you want. For some reason, I noticed this the other night when Ben was showing it on launch party. I was seeing a little girl's head and hair, like the hair round her head, and then just put a couple of little bows in there, and that's like our what do you call it? Well, our hair tied. Is it just me? Anyone else? Just do a little face in there. It's a little girl's face. I see it. I see it. Then also we've got the vintage hot air balloon. Now you've got all the detail to then create that fun vintage hot air balloon, or use it, the main dies, and create an aperture of your hot air balloon. But all of these really attention to detail is exceptional when it comes to this collection. And then last but by no means least, we've got the Helter Skelter. So with the Helter Skelter, that is what we've got. Could actually be a lighthouse as well. So you've got all of those dies in there, which really, really are so smart, so cool, and such a great collection for you to then get creative with. So once again, you've got all of these when it comes to the Helter Skelter. You've then also got within that one the hot air balloon. You're then also going to be getting the big top. The big top then also means you're going to then be getting the Ferris wheel. You've got all of those sentiment dies and also the ticket dies. You've then also going to be getting your alphabets. Then what you're going to be getting is that popcorn box, that template, and also the die as well to create the scalloped ends. Then you've also got your 6x6, you've got your linen, and then last but by no means least, what you've also got is you've also got your 12x12 pattern paper. All of that is what you're going to be getting from the collection. Will be on Wake Up Call before the actual launch within Pick of the Week show which is the middle of the show today. So before I show you some samples, we have got Debbie Murphy is saying likes the double-sided papers. We've got Lorna saying morning Craig and everyone, what a great set. It is a great set, isn't it? Really, really nice set. You can imagine coming in with your embossing folders as well, distressing the edges. We're going to have lots of fun when it comes to my demos later on between Wake Up Call and then the Pick of the Week launch day show. Laura Hammer saying, yeah, I saw the girl's head straight away. Glad it wasn't just me. Tracy is saying, morning, what a great collection. Yeah, it really is. Ruth Miser is saying, I see it too. My hair used to be in that style years ago. Debbie Murphy is saying, wow's a fabulous set. And Rachel's just saying to me there, she's had so much fun. Well, she's had such fun, big capital, such fun creating with this set. And I think that it really does open up a world of different looks, different styles, although you've got the vintage feel already there in there, but it's up to you. You can dictate whether you want to make it a little bit more grungy, whether you want to then bring in maybe some more modern elements to it. But let's show you the demos that I've got planned for today, which hopefully between Wake Up Call, Pick of the Week launch day show, then Friday Night Live, I should hopefully get them all done. But we've got our popcorn box that we can see here. So we've got the popcorn box, and it's a good size box. It is 6.5 by 6.5 by 3.5. So it's a good size popcorn box, all detailed with lots of these. Now what my aim is throughout all the shows, because some of my demos, as you'll see, for instance, if I bring this one in, this is another one of my demo. So throughout the day, my aim is to at least create one each of these main features. Now what I mean by that is I'll show you within one of the demos how to make that one, how to make that one, and how to make that one. Is there another one? Is it just the three of them? But when it comes to, if I show you that one on that one, I'm not going to show you it again. I've already got one cut and made, if that makes sense. Because as you can see, a lot of love and just enjoyment goes in to this collection. This is one that you're going to sit, you're going to relax, you're going to reminisce about the old circus days. But I'm not going to recreate that every single time. So I'll show you at least how to create each one of them once throughout the day, and then the rest, what will just be about is the actual project and then start to build it. So that is one of the demos. That one there being another demo, which i.e. from Template Library, if you want. I'm probably going to kickstart that one because that one is quite a simplistic layer when it comes to a few mats and layers and then starting to create the Hilti-Skelter. So that's quite simplistic in that one. Also from the Template Library, going in within that one there, you really can have fun. You can really start to go in with the colours, you can start to layer up all the die sets there, you can create that theme, you can create that kind of nostalgic look. It would of course be good for your scrapbooking. And then also in that one there, another one of my demos that you can see here. Isn't it cool? Really works well for your Z-fold cards that you can see, but the attention to detail that you find when it comes to the Ferris wheel, when it comes to the hot air balloon, all those little tickets, the fact that you can stamp your own sentiment in there as well, and they're all fit to perfection. So that one there, you've got that one there, and then you've got that one there, and then you have got that one there, and then last but by no means least, you've got that one there. So it's definitely going to be a fun at the fair sort of day today. Me with the slushy machine, Ben with the popcorn and all of his magic as well. It's going to be roll up, roll up, roll up. So now that I've shown you what my demos consist of, let's have a look at Nicole's samples, and then I'll bring in the design team samples that I've got here, because you can, it's one of those, sometimes with collections, you feel like you have to stop. You know, you've got like, right, I've added enough now, I need to stop. This is one of those, I don't think there is a stopping point. I think you can just keep adding and adding and adding. And the more that you add, the more that just adds to all of that kind of theatrical sort of vintage carnival look. We've got your gift bags in there. Of course, you can go in with your cards, go in with your white gel pens and the faux stitching, like Nicole's done. It is Nicole that's done these ones. I thought so. Just wanted to check. Had sorted them out, but yeah, just highlighting all the way around as well. I mean, using the cardstock that to create that backdrop, to create the hills, to create that depth as well. It's not as if you need your block card all the time. It's a great way to then just create that visualness with your pattern paper. I mean, look at that one. How cool is that one? I think that one's just slightly come away. See if we can fix that live. But yeah, going in with the popcorn box as well. So you're not having to always use that popcorn box when it comes to creating an actual popcorn box. Why not start to use it as a topper on your card? That would look really quite smart as well. I'm just going to pinch that one down. Personalizing it as well if you want to. Cool, isn't that one? You can do it so you could, these could actually be little sections for you to tuck all your tickets in there. If it's like a little memory book, you can do that. Then your theatres and your diorama cards, all of these sorts of ones. It's really, really smart how Nicole's got that depth into every single point of the samples here. Trudy, so much packed into one collection. It really is. It's probably the most detailed collection when it comes to a theme that we've done. And then another one, that one's like home decor that Nicole's done there. So really good for that home decor. You could have little photos just popping out the front there if you wanted to. So that is other ideas that you've got when it comes to this collection. Remember, keep an eye out on the website .co.uk.com.eu for the collection to actually launch. And if it's going to be your first purchase and you haven't joined Club Inspire yet, definitely do it, because you'll get your extra, your 20% off your first order. Now these ones, we've got Jackie's made this one. You see, a lot of the team have loved personalising the projects. I think many people will be doing the same as well. And it's nice having the sentiment themed for the circus. You've then got Up, Up and Away within that DL slimline card as well. Really, really smart. Our Julia's done that one. And then doing your easels, doing your twisted easels, doing your double twisted easels in there that you can see. It's a really, really great way to use these as kind of visual toppers that we've done with that one. Jan's done that one. So then what about going in with this one? Rachel's done this one. How smart is that? How cool. It really, really is cool. Gone in. I like how Rachel's added the gems in there to act like the lights that you would find on the actual Ferris wheel as well. And then because you've actually got a stencil, so you can add your inked colour yourself, whatever design that you want, or have it without. But you've got all of that. Could be a little note on the back, the message on the back, could be a photo on the back. So that one's there. Then this one Rachel's also created. You can see, you can tell where my demo was inspired from. You can see from Rachel's. So going in here, pattern paper onto the back, turning the edges here, and then you've also got your sentiment. I just love that block funfair along the front. You see that at the carnival, certainly the vintage carnivals and the vintage circuses as well, whereas what you've then got is just that block wording that runs all throughout. So you've got that one. Now also, we showed these on Tuesday night, but this is another smart one that Julia's made here. If you've still got any of your puffy faux snow, that's what that is. That's just your puffy snow, faux snow. Doing it on your glass mat or a craft mat, letting it dry, adding a little bit of ink and creating that faux popcorn. Using that popcorn as a topper. Really, really cool. Then this next one here, Jan's done. This is cool. Yeah, the carnival and the circuses. You've got your little poke chips in there. Great card. I think it's, is it that way? No, must be that way. Yeah, must be that way. So nice pocket in there. So if you want to put pockets in there, you can then do that. So good question. Me and Ben were talking about that on Tuesday. Can you make the Ferris wheel go round by putting brads in the centre? Where is, so that one there. There's no reason why you can't. You do have space just at the top. So what I would do is, I personally wouldn't use an actual hole punch. I'd use my pokey tool and just pierce a tiny little hole, and then actually use the brads that way and then feed it through. But there'll be some ways in which you can do that for sure. Yeah, so yep, give that one a shot. I'm sure I've got brads somewhere. If I get a chance before I leave for the office, then I'll see if I can look them out. Julia's made that one there. So if you can get the actual cards to then be rocking back and forth, that would be really, really smart to actually do that. Rachel's saying, pretty sure you can get teeny brads. Yeah, I think I've just got kind of like the standard size brads. But yeah, you could get teeny brads to make the car swing too. So yeah, have a look online for brads. Then we have got the ability of the easel. I'm sure this was Jan made this one, for remember. Yes, it was. Cool is this one. So it's like a double easel here and here. So double easel that you can see from the top. Cool. Combining. This is one of the great things I think with this collection as well, because I think at first glance you think you're going to do a card with that, or a card with that, or a card with that, card with that. How they all work well together. They're all from that carnival, that vintage carnival theme, so they're all going to work well onto that project together. But even just down at the bottom, using the dies for the words magic, really, really smart. Then we've got this one here that Jackie's made. Going back to theatres, diorama cards as well, having that hot air balloon. What you could then start to do is you could then start to have your sections in the middle there as well, and just have them offset in different ways. But have fun with all of your tickets in there as well, with the sentiments that fit in the middle. The 6x6, great set to have and create that theme. Going in here, bringing in folders that you might have from your own stash that Jackie's done in here. Gone in with the lighter tones there, great one. What about your smaller cards? Because although this set, it really does shout out that theatrical feel and that look, and the movement of cards, the kinetic cards, still great for your smaller cards. Let's not forget the smaller cards, of course. Then within this one, we've got that Jackie's also made here. Folders from your older collections, papers that are included here, and then going in, you could have, I don't know, you could have like a little silhouette of a person or an animal or something just way into the background there. Or then if you've got bunting dies and you've got post dies, post sign dies, that sort of thing, you can really start to create that lead up into the big top. That's in there. Another one that I was inspired by, Jan's done within this one here that you can see. Within that one, is that supposed to be low down? Yeah, hey, that's cleverly done. I know you can't see it, but that ticket is sticking out of the bottom there. But what it actually does is when it sits, let's see, it makes it sit at an angle, which is quite cool. Let's see if we can do it that way. I like that. So it's sitting a little bit more at an angle. If I turn that one around, you can see just here. I like that idea. At first I thought it'd maybe drop down, but no. No, it's meant to be like that. Smart. If you've got then lights or battery operated tea lights, all of those, the battery operated string lights, you'd be able to use just poking out from behind, really make that theme of the carnival. Well, we know who's done that one, and this is a brilliant idea. Absolutely shouts to be used for the bedroom door. Yeah, Rachel, of course. Teddy's room. How cool would that be? And the little kiddie's room. You personalised with their name on it, on a little plaque, all decorated. And I think that's the thing as well, why so many people, from what they've seen online and social, are absolutely loving it, is because whether it is a baby, whether it is a toddler, whether it's the teen, whether it's the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, does not matter the age range. Every single one, from young to old, male, female, are going to absolutely love the look, love the theme of it, either love playing with it or love receiving a card with that vintage theme. Everyone's got their own idea of vintage Carnival. Whether it is a 16-year-old who's got their idea of what their vintage Carnival would be, is going to be different to what a 38-year-old vintage Carnival, which is going to be completely different to what a 70-year-old vintage Carnival. But not only that, the difference of what a vintage Carnival is for us in the UK compared to what a vintage Carnival is for you guys stateside, to what you guys think it is across Central Europe and just all over the globe, the difference of what a vintage Carnival looks like and feels like. But this collection has nailed every single point for no matter the way that you think of it, the way that you feel about it, and what your mind travels to when it comes to that vintage Carnival. Julia's made this one, and then I think this one here, if I remember correct, was it this one? There was one, wasn't there? Oh, it's a way to come up in a minute. It's just we've not fixed it yet. If you've seen it on Friday night, that was sitting in our box, but the sample's coming up. I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, if you've got your rocker cards, template library, this one here that Jackie's made here, so with a Ferris wheel on the front, but on the inside she's done out that pop out where the little hot air balloon, we still need to fix that, but what she's done is she had that suspended down on string, and here I'm going to have to use a little bit of hot glue, yeah, because there's no stickiness now, hot glue when I get in the office, but just have that suspended downwards, really smart. And then roll up with the tickets, the big circus there, colour theme it, whatever. I mean, you've got that great circus tent, so that could then be your go with the blues or go with the pinks for a new baby card if you want to. Go in and personalise it underneath there, bring your other nested other alphabet dies in or number dies and date it as well, because these will work with your classic font sentiment dies, so you're going to be able to use them both together. Like if you got our Celebrate the Times, if you got that collection, those alphabets, although these are a simplistic font sized alphabet, they're still going to work in conjunction with these ones here. So just an absolute incredible fun creative collection that you're going to be able to get really hands-on and really enjoy. I'm going to say you're going to enjoy creating your cards and your projects, but what you're really going to do is you're just going to enjoy thinking back. You know, for me, the when I think of the vintage Carnival and I think of you guys stateside, I'm thinking of Dumbo. I always think back to Dumbo. The original cartoon, not the live action, because I did not like the live action whatsoever. That's my opinion, not Crafter's Companion, my opinion. But the actual animated version of Dumbo, and that image of them setting up the big top and then getting all the acts together and the look, the colours, the theme, the style. For me, that's what I think when I think of vintage Carnival with that circus in mind. I think of Dumbo, and I just think of the look and the feel within that collection. So there's our samples that you've seen just here and here as well. So let's give another recap of the collection before I need to head into the office and get sorted. Let's just have another quick recap with these ones here. So we've got first look within Wake Up Call. I predict a riot within Wake Up Call. I predict it to be very, very busy, and I predict that to continue all the way in to the Pick of the Week launch day show. Either way, we're going to have demos galore with this collection. Kickstart within Wake Up Call, as I said, and then we're just going to then carry on all the way through into the Pick of the Week. Then, if time dependent and if demos allow, we'll have a look at it on Friday night. Although I know on Friday night we've got specific things we want to be looking at, but I think if you want, if it's still there, we can have a look when it comes to the collection. Let's have another look at my demos, and then we can then have a last look at the collection and then wrap up. So these are my demos that I have got planned for the day. I am going to do my absolute darndest to get them all done. So bringing in the template library. I'm going to say this, I think this collection is the perfect collection for the template library. All of these different fun projects, 120 templates that you've got, over 120 projects within the template library. I think this collection, the Vintage Carnival, is going to be the best one for the template library to be using. So that is my demos that I have got planned, and I've got them all sorted and all set out at head office. I was doing that last night when Ben was going over his bits that he was showing you all. Right, so the actual collection itself, remember that what I'm showing you here is like the main collection. Make sure you tune in to Wake Up Call, where Ben will go over what kind of options, because sometimes we'll have little smaller bundles, sometimes we'll have the showstopper or a bonus buy, etc, etc. As I said at the start, I got Ben, he's just concentrating on that. I'm concentrating on the actual demos, so I'm not actually sure what the bundles consist of, so therefore tune in to Wake Up Call, which is what it's all about. But there is your popcorn box. So you've got your popcorn template to create the popcorn box. You can start to ink through it as well, emboss through it, but then you've got your die as well to create that scalloped edges. So that's in there. You've then also got your alphabet die, A to Z. That's in there with that very vintage look. And this will work with collections out of the Vintage Carnival, because you've got that little bit kind of, I don't know, like Western sort of feel to it as well, but that vintage tone, so that's a good one. Then the sentiments, I think that's so cool, the fact that they work with the die. So it's a sentiment and die set here, so if you go for this, you're going to get these in the pack as well. So you've got your tearable little tickets in there as well. That one does tear away as well, and you've got a variety of all these different sentiments that work and fit on the smaller tickets, on your larger tickets, and then just to actually use when it comes to your own projects at home. You've then got the Ferris wheel, so you've got the die set. So at first glance you do think, oh my gosh, there is going to be loads and loads and loads of dies to create the Ferris wheel, where in reality there's not that many dies. You've got your detail die in there, same with the big top there, which is why I keep referring to circuses every now and again, because of course you can then run it through that circus. That for the Vintage Carnival, not necessarily in the UK, but I know maybe you guys, when it comes to your carnival stateside, you would have your big helter-skelters, and you would have your big wheels and big tops, all that sort of things. Usually we would just have the circus and then that was it, but that's included as well. You've then of course got the helter-skelter in there. All of these, colour them the way you want, theme them the way you want, decorate them the way that you want, including as well that hot air balloon too. So you're going to be getting all of that when it comes to the collection. Not only that, you're going to be getting your 6x6 paper pad as well. You're then going to also be getting your 24 sheets of linen cardstock. So you're going to get 8 colours, and then you're going to be getting 3 of each. If you wanted to make this collection a little bit more modern, bring in your modern papers and then your modern coloured cardstock, and then you'll be absolutely away with what you can make. But these are giving you the primary colours, but more in that vintage tone, which works well. So you've got those ones, 3 of each colour, these ones being 250 GSM, And then last but by no means least, we've got our 24 sheets of double-sided papers, 180 GSM, 12 designs, 2 of each. So as we start to then flick through, all having that opposite side that will work and complement or as a standalone design. Either way, you've got all of these beautiful vintage looking, vintage colour, vintage carnival and vintage circles designs that are going to work for every single age and every single sex as well. Whether it's your cards, whether it's your scrapbooks, whether it's your boxes, your projects, whether it's going to be your template library, whether it's going to be your layout collection, all of these is just going to work a treat. Okay, for then fold all these ones over. Sue King saying, just thought, what about the little animals over the edge stamps with this collection? Absolutely, absolutely. Get them all out. Get them all out. Start using them together. This is it. Collections aren't just there to be used as a one-off collection. Bring in everything else that you've got as well that's going to work in conjunction with what you're creating. Last one here with the stars, with that double-sided being 12 by 12. So there we go. You've got all of that when it comes to, of course, the brand new vintage Carnival collection. Carnival collection, Carnival designs, Carnival colours, and just so much fun at the Carnival. So whatever you envision when you think of a vintage Carnival, everyone's going to be different, whether of course it's the age, whether it's the sex, whether of course it's stateside, whether it's the UK, whether it's Europe. Everyone's got a different interpretation of that vintage Carnival. But what you've got here is you've got that vintage Carnival, that nod to the vintage Carnival across the globe, different age ranges. Everyone knows a helter-skelter. Everyone knows, of course, the big top, the hot air balloon, as well as the Ferris wheel as well, and a popcorn box. Who doesn't love the popcorn box? You can get creative with that, even if it's just with the kiddies on a movie night, that is for sure. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you because I need to finish getting myself sorted and then heading into the office. Lorna, this would work well with the Santangle Fairground. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Such a great collection, Lorna. It really, really is. Pamela saying, awesome samples. Gillian Smith is saying, really is a special collection. I adore all the samples. I have to say, I think everyone back at head office, certainly on the CTV side, have fallen in love with all of the samples. Nicole always blows out the water. Rachel as well, that you see, you know, full-time mummy and running the house and doing everything that she's doing and what she does behind the scenes with Taylor and all social in the community that no one sees, as well as making these samples. A big shout out to Rachel for that, and as well as the design team for everything that they do. Absolutely fallen in love with them. Right, I will see you with Ben for Wake Up Call, then I'll see you again for Pick of the Week launch day, Vintage Carnival, and then we'll see you again for Friday Night Live. So it's going to be really, really fun. Craig Rancourt saying, thank you, Craig. Really looking forward to this launch. I am too. Rightio, go and grab your breakfast or your midnight snack or whatever it is that you're having, and we'll see you live on Wake Up Call for the pre-look launch of the Vintage Carnival. So we'll see you then. Doodles.